Hello there, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is João, I'm from Brazil, the country of very nice people, football, samba, and yeah, pretty much every single stereotype that you see towards Brazil is somewhat true. Yeah, so I have started working with business and account management for the past 4 years. Initially, I actually started working in an import and export company here in Curitiba, which is the city that I'm based. And that company actually focused on the outsourcing of the export and import departments from Brazilian companies for the overseas market. So I pretty much been working with English my entire life. And even though I was associated with an import and export assistant role, it soon came to me that I was pretty much conducting the whole sales funnel by myself. So after coming upon that realization, it only made sense to actually make the jump to an actual business and sales role afterwards. So that's exactly what I did. I actually joined a startup here in Curitiba called Tech HR, and Tech HR provided HR services for tech companies throughout a SaaS platform, as well as just services. For example, something that we would do a lot is we would find good developers and programmers to actually put in Brazilian companies, because after the post-pandemic boom in remote work, it was really tough to actually find good developers that would be willing to work in Brazil, given the fact that conversion rates from foreign currency is much more appealing financially. So this is something that we would provide. And yeah, after a while, I realized that I wanted to join the evil that I was combating, because I actually decided to go work overseas myself. And that's exactly what I've done. So I joined Interprenet, which is a global language service provider. So we would provide interpretation, on-site interpretation, remote interpretation through a SaaS product that we would provide. We had on-demand interpretation, captioning, subtitles, everything that would come with language, really. So given the fact that I was very proficient in English, I was actually assigned to a joker role, which they would call, because it meant that I would be dealing with both global and regional divisions of the sales department. And that meant that whereas in global, I will be dealing with huge corporations that will be hosting corporate fairs, for example, and maybe they would need to provide accessibility language-wise for a 2,000 people delegation that will be coming from India, for example. So we would have to find ways to cater to that demographic within that event. However, they would access the language or the content throughout interpretation, captioning, and so it goes. So it was a really nice experience overall. I grew exponentially. My former boss is now my mentor. I might meet with her once in every 2 months, so I can actually discuss opportunities for growth within my role. How can I do things better? And eventually I decided to leave because I actually really liked the global division, but I was much more working on the regional side of things, because since they're more transactional and it's more so for local businesses that will be needing an interpreter for tomorrow, for example, it was way more transactional and more high volume. So eventually I was working with way more of that than the global side of things, which was what I signed up for and which was informed that would be my main responsibility. So eventually I decided to leave because of that. So at the beginning of this year, I actually joined a startup that was focused on app development through no code. We would accelerate the development of companies and ideas that people would have that they would like to turn into an app. They could see it turning into an app, and we accelerate the development of these ideas and of these companies through no code app development. So using a number of different platforms, but strictly Flutter Flow. So it was a good experience, but I didn't really agree with the direction the company was heading. So I decided to leave about a month ago. So I'm immediately available. My English is great. I am a great ambassador. I'm quite organized. I'm well spoken. And yeah, I truly believe that I can be a great addition to any team when it comes to generating business, account management, customer success, and so forth. So hopefully you guys find this application video fondly. And yeah, hopefully talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.